Hello and welcome to the channel. I debated whether or not I was going to talk about recent events. I think if you're watching this the week of September 10th, you know the most recent event, obviously the death of Charlie Kirk, and before that, there have been other issues. I wasn't sure if I was going to address any of that or not. Because the the entire conflict as to do I or don't I has to do with the purpose of this channel, to bring people together. And what I wanted to bring us together around is storytelling. Well, before we can share our stories, we have to be able to talk to each other. We have to be able to have honest, sometimes even difficult conversations. The idea that you can't have that, that's entirely the problem. As you can see, I masked out my background. I put some effort into a thumbnail. But I'm not going to edit any of the words. You won't notice any James T. Kirk transitions. I do hope I get better at editing. As a matter of fact, I will. But, I, I won't be editing anything I say. There won't be any cuts to animations or anything like that. I do want to show you something just to sort of lighten things up. And yes, I know before anybody even starts with me, so to speak, I am not on my screen share, but at least I know it yet. I know it at this point. But I'll show you kind of what I want to look at. And this is getting off of um, the subject just a little bit. Alright, give me one moment. Alright. What I'm do kind of plan on doing is right now you're not seeing any screen. I'll probably actually it is what it is. I'm right now I do have a um, Twitch channel and I'm thinking about putting together a YouTube channel to support it. And this is kind of something I've been playing with AI. Okay. Oh, yeah, scroll on the wrong thing. Basically, I took. It might have even been this picture. No, it wouldn't have been because I wouldn't have had the earphones on. But I took a picture of myself. And I told AI, make a version of myself that's like 10 years younger. Which I know this doesn't really look like me when I was 10 years younger, but whatever. I mean, I suppose maybe a little. And then I said, put these two guys together. And again, AI is not perfect, and this one isn't even like full disclosure. This is Artistly. It's not Midjourney. I don't have any affiliate links with anybody, but I said put these two in a podcast together. So literally, it's me and a modified clone of me. And I was kind of wanting to make a faceless podcast of myself for my stream. Now, why bring that up? Because there are so many more productive, creative ways of solving the world's problems. The the temperature people are talking about turn down the temperature. Everybody's too hyped up on their ideologies and you hear a lot of moral equivalency talk and then you hear the counter to that. I'm like, enough. At this point, I don't care about the arguments. And I've been one of the people doing the arguing. And even I'm saying enough. Let's create something. Let's build something. Let's join together. Now you say, Caitlin, that's rather naive. We've got issues that we need to face. You're not going to just kumbaya, hold hands. I know. But if we can't even talk to each other, we're not going to fix the big problems either. It starts with you and I putting our differences aside.
Mic off. Mic on.
Acknowledging that they exist, that we have them, but focusing on what do we have in common? What makes us the same? And if we can find a few things that make us the same, okay, that regardless your opinions or whatever, there are people that are fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, brothers, sisters, friends, co workers, bosses, employees, ministers, parishioners. All of these things that we all have in common, and we're all human beings. So if we could just, and I'm going to put this in the video in case I do make it public. I want it known that even as I'm sitting here recording this, I'm considering not even uploading it, because if I upload it, I'm not going to edit the content. The only thing I'm going to do is edit my background out, because I don't like my background. So I'm replacing it with one I do like. We don't have. Just remember that it's more useful if we do have differences of opinion. If we do have different worldviews, if we do have different ideologies. Part of what the problem is everybody living in their stupid echo chambers. Everybody having that narrow tunnel vision. I'm right, you're wrong. I think I'm a good person, so if I've already established, you see where I'm going with this. That's where we run into issues. You have to basically be humble enough to admit, I don't know everything. Everything I believe isn't right. Everything I believe isn't wrong, but everything I believe isn't right. I can learn from you. You can learn from me. We can take what we learn from each other and teach others. They can teach us. And the finished product could be nirvana, world peace, utopia. No. But at least a society, a civilization, a place where people from all walks of life can occupy the same space at the same time, can live together, and find constructive ways of settling their conflicts. Oh yeah, there'll be conflicts. There'll be arguments. There'll be some good arguments, and they're necessary. The brain wants to take in information and solve problems. It wants to analyze contradictory information and make sense of it. It's why you can have something, a word that is only slightly misspelled, and just scanning over it, you may literally see it spelled correctly. It's because your brain's like, okay, I understand what this word is supposed to be, so um, I'm not going to waste time harping on the fact that it's slightly misspelled. I hope this makes sense. This likely will be the last video that I make like this. I certainly hope so. It occurred to me as I was preparing to get the video into the editor so I can remove the background and get it uploaded to YouTube, and I was trying to think about what I wanted to do for a thumbnail, that there may have been at least some perceived contradiction to what I said. I'm at the beginning of the video saying I don't care about any of the arguments enough and all that stuff. I was quite emphatic about that. And then I talked about how the brain needs to argue and needs the contradictions and needs to process them and critically think about them. What I'm actually getting at is what I'm tired of is the team sports, sports entertainment esque aspect of it, of my team's going to beat your team, or my champion's going to kick your champion's butt, or any of the superficial people who wear my favorite merch or on my team and part of my tribe, and that's what I've had enough of. What I want to have is, first, I do want all of us to reconnect with each other and find that common ground, find that sameness, find that common cause with each other. And then once we've done that and we've established a connection, then I want to have a dialogue. I want to have a conversation. I want to share my experiences with you. I want you to share them with me.
Charge complete.
I want charges to be complete. No. I basically I want us to be able to, when we do have differences of opinion, when we do see things differently, to be able to discuss them honestly and openly. Because we may actually see the same problem, we just might have a different way of going about it. Or you may see a problem that I'm blind to, and you're like, hey, you may not have noticed this, but this is what I'm experiencing. And with me, I might be like, I don't know if this has occurred to you, but this is a problem I'm seeing. And we could work together, and our unique perspectives and walks of life and opinions and creativity and all the things that make you you and me could come together to actually solve problems instead of just winning arguments. If I have a call to action, more importantly than anything you can put in the comments, I want you to think about what you can do in your life and in your community to help bring us to a point to where we can talk to each other again, to where we can share our stories, to where we can solve our problems, to where we can be made aware of the problems our neighbors are seeing that maybe we're not, and we can bring the problems we're seeing that maybe our neighbors have a blind spot to. It's the only way things don't get a whole lot worse. Until next time.